First of all, you got to give Northwestern and Coach Braun a ton of credit. We shouldn't lose that game. It's 100% on me, and we got to get it fixed. And I will get it fixed. Open it up to questions.
We'll go right here to Mark and then Rich.
James, I think you were getting to the point that your team made a lot of mistakes it usually doesn't make. There's a lot of noise out there about you specifically. Are you worried that the team is distracted by all the publicity around you?
Yeah, we have worked really hard to keep the building as positive and close out all that noise as we possibly can. But for me to say that it doesn't impact them would not be honest.
Rich, then Audrey.
James, to your right, why do you think that the run defense has been so porous these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, again, probably the answer that you don't want, that I need to watch the tape. But at the end of the day, the stats and the results are what they are, and it's my responsibility to get it fixed. And we will get to work tomorrow and probably even tonight. Again, it's totally on me, and we'll do everything we can to get it fixed.
Audrey, then Neil.
James, do you have any update on Drew Aller, and do you expect that he'll maybe be able to go here in the coming days?
Yeah, so Drew will be done for the year. The reason I turned and looked is I do not release that information until I clear it with the kid and the family. And I had talked to Drew, but I had not heard back from the family before I came in here.
Neil and then Greg.
James, what do you think is missing? Is there a lack of connection, coach to staff, to players? And is there an NIL era? Does that change the dynamic after a team takes, say, the loss to Oregon? Has there been a disconnect since then?
Yeah, there's obviously a ton of different dynamics in college football. There's a ton of different dynamics in college football now, but we're all dealing with the same thing. And whatever the situation is now in college football, everybody must embrace it, and that doesn't allow us to use that as the reason. Again, at the end of the day, it is on my responsibility completely, and I take full responsibility for all of it. I hired all the staff. I recruited all the players. Believe in all of them, but at the end of the day, we're not getting it done right now, and again, I own that.
Greg, then Bob.
Coach, is there anything you're hearing on the headset when you guys are on offense that maybe gives you an indication, without watching the film of this game, but just overall throughout the course of the year, but also tonight, of why things haven't worked on offense up until the end of the couple times you were able to score tonight?
Yeah, I thought, early in the game we got the running game going. Katron was very productive. Obviously, Nick was able to get the touchdown as well. The early turnover obviously was significant because we went right down the field after the block punt, and we're in a great situation. That was obviously a big series in the game. You go down and you score on that drive. Could be a very different game, but again, we got to handle whatever comes and respond to whatever comes. But I thought early on we were able to run the ball and mix some things up. In the second half, we weren't able to run the ball either.
Bob, then Ellie.
James, just following up on Greg's question, Devontae Ross had a nice game for you. He had a real big play there. It looked, you guys took the lead. The other guys you kind of added in the transfer portal, the wideouts. Just your thoughts on Pena and Hudson. They weren't really much of a factor in this game, and it's kind of happened more than once this season. I also think Kyron had at least one or two drops. Just your thoughts on maybe getting more inability to consistently get more playmakers involved, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It can't just be the running back and one wide receiver. We need multiple guys making plays. We need to distribute the ball. We need to get as many guys involved because they're capable. So again, that is on me to make sure that happens. And again, all I can say is I take full responsibility.
Allie, then Sovereign.
James, we've heard the emotion from the fan base, and we saw yours post-game. Do you still want to be the head coach here at Penn State, and do you have confidence that this is a group of people that can turn this around this season?
Yeah, for me, it's always been about our players, and those guys are hurting right now, and the fans are frustrated, and I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. We have great fans here. We get unbelievable support, and I understand their frustration. Trust me, we're as frustrated as anybody, the guys in the locker room. But to me, ultimately, it's about the guys. It's about the guys in the locker room, and they're hurting in there. And I do anything I could to take that hurt away from them. But like I told them, we got to stick together. We got to tune out all the noise, and we got to get to work. That's the only answer, is get to work. We've had some adversity in the past, not like this, and we're going to get to work. And I love those kids. I am committed to those players in that locker room, and I've been that way for 12 years. And I've been that way for 15 years of my head coaching career, and I've been that way for 30 years. That won't change. That won't change. It's always been about the players for me. That won't ever change. That's what it's all about for me. So my commitment is to the guys in that locker room, and all the guys that have been in that locker room in the past. So that's where my commitment is.
Last two, Sovereign, then Mike.
James, I know you said that you're committed to the players and everything, but do you still think it's best for your career to be the head coach at Penn State?
Yeah, I take full responsibility for what's happened tonight. I take full responsibility for what's happened this season, and I'm committed to the guys in that locker room.
Over here, James. From afar, it looked like you were more active in play calling on offense tonight. Is that the case?
Tonight was no different than it's been all year long and for the last 12 years. There was no difference. There was no change. I'm not sure where that is coming from.